R2K Adventures. I'm Levi Kelder, and this is my patrol. And I wanted to show you this because I'm interested in full driving, I'm interested in touring, I do a lot of caravanning, and it took me a long time to find a car that I thought might be suitable for the job that I want done. And it wasn't until a friend of mine suggested, go and have a look at a Nissan Patrol. So I did. I sat in it, and the first thing I thought was, I want this car. The seat was the most comfortable seat I've ever sat in on a vehicle before. So I bought the car. I waited 6 to 9 months, the usual wait time at the moment, and I ended up going with the TIL model, and I think I paid a fairly reasonable price for the market at the moment. But what I'm here to do today is I want to show you some of the things I've done to the car. I haven't done much, in fact. The reason I bought the car is because I don't want to do too much to it. I'm not an extreme off-roader, but I'm more of a caravaner, and I spend a bit of time, bush camping and that sort of stuff. So I wanted to keep it pretty simple. And I really wanted a 7-seat vehicle because sometimes I've got 3 kids. So sometimes I want to bring a friend, or the kids want to bring a friend along, or a mother-in-law or something like that. So the ability to have the extra seats is quite handy. What I've done at the back here, and this is what I want to show you today, is how I've managed to keep at least one of my 7 seats. So I've still got 6 seats in this vehicle. So I've had to custom make a drawer setup to suit. Now I've done this myself. At the time it's very difficult to try and find people to go and do the job at the moment. So I've gone and done this job myself at home in the garage, and I bought the materials and I covered all the timber with all the carpets and everything like that to make it look like it's sort of more of a workshop job. So what I've done here is I've built a little fridge box, pretty straightforward. The fridge is only a small little fridge, but it's enough to do the job I need to do. I store a few drinks in there. I've got a freezer in there for some other bits and pieces, pretty easy to use. And I use that on actually a child safety lot. Having 3 kids, you learn some little hints and tips, and that one there just keeps the fridge closed or secure when I'm travelling, so it doesn't release any extra cooling into the car. The drawer, built a simple little drawer here. I've got just usual bits and pieces in here, sunscreen. I've actually built a little cup holder in here as well. Your Bushmans, a couple of tools, some bits and pieces, and a bottle of gin just in case you need that while you're on the road. Over here, more storage, just a little simple storage system just to put some bits and pieces in there for when you're travelling. And over this side here, I've got an air compressor which is hooked up to a switch as well. And as you can see here, this big yellow light, that's actually a light. I've just coated it with yellow electrical tape, and what that does is it just stops the bugs being attracted to it. If you have your boot open at night, you don't want the car filled with bugs. At the moment I've got the fridge switched on. I can turn my light on pretty straightforward, and I can turn my air compressor on or flick at the switch, and then she's ready to go. On this side here, I've got a 12-volt socket and 2 USB ports, just in case I need those to charge some phones or something like that while I'm travelling. But half the reason it's designed like this as well is I wanted somewhere to store my match tracks. I don't have a roof rack. I don't go hardcore off-roading, so I don't see the purpose in having all this extra stuff. So I've made a simple little shelf where it can sit in, a little bit more storage hidden away under there, but I also wanted to be able to access underneath here where I've got a spare wheel tyre kit as well in case I get a flat tyre, and some more storage. I put some tow tools and stuff like that in there. Just gives me the ability to still get to the bits I need to under there while still having the flexibility of space. Like I said, the whole thing just slides out, pretty easy to do, a couple of bolts, and I can take the thing out if I don't want it for the weekend, unplug it. Behind the fridge, I'm running, and I'll show you that in a second, I'm running a 120 amp lithium battery. I've got a smart shunt in there, and I've also got an Orion Victron charger as well. So that's my DC to DC. We've got a cable that runs up which just unplugs, and I'll show you that in a second, and you can have a look at the DC detail of the wiring there. But it's pretty basic. It was fairly easy to make, and I think overall, excluding the electrical work, it cost me about $1,500 including the fridge. So it wasn't overly expensive to do, and it was a pretty easy thing to set up.